What is up, guys? I'm Zhuang. Welcome to another Arknights Endfield video. So, since there's not really much going on in the game, even though we had a new patch, I don't have any particular content for this patch planned, or for the channel. So the only video I think that is coming up, that is planned, is top grossing gacha games for the month of April. But except that, I think this could be the only video for the patch. I'm not sure. Maybe I'm thinking of something else. But yeah, if you wanna get a little bit more, try to keep an eye on my YouTube Shorts. I try to upload there every day. There could be some days where I miss, but yeah, I try to make it that there is at least one video out there. At the moment, it is a lot of reactions on videos. But yeah, sometimes there are also other clips there. So yeah, let's get into this patch. So since we only into the tier list, since we only have one release in this patch, I think that this video won't be as long as the other tier list reviews. This is, as always, on pridewin.gg. I always use their website for my videos, so shout out to them. I always put the link in the description of my videos as well. They regularly update for different gacha games, so Arknights Endfield is not the only one. If you want to check them out, definitely keep an eye on them. If you want to watch the tier list for yourself, do that as well. Okay, sorry. Okay, so ZHUANG FANGYI is the only character that is out for this patch, the only new characters. I think in about 2 weeks we will get a rerun where I think Levitain, Gilberta, and I'm not sure, Yvonne? Pretty much all the characters from the first patch, I think, are available in that manner. I know for sure that Levitain is in there, and I also thought Gilberta is in there. And then I think it was standard mana characters, not Yvonne. But I'm not sure. But definitely it is a rerun banner where all the other characters are included, but they're all already in the tier list, and I don't think that until the rest of this patch there are a lot of movements happen. If there are movements happening, I will of course come back and update it for you. Otherwise, we want to have to wait for the next patch until new characters release, and then I will do a new update for the patch. And I will try to cover this as long as I do play Arknights Endfield, though. Yeah, ZHUANG FANGYI, only new character, and right now we are in the damage dealer category. And as you can see, of course, she is in the tier 0 category. And what is really not concerning, but I don't know, you can view it as you want, if it is positive or negative, but it has to say a lot about the game if all limited damage dealers that are available right now are in the tier 0 category. So we have tier 0, tier 0.5, tier 1, tier 1.5, where there's no character right now, and tier 2. So pretty much every character that is a damage dealer right now is playable. So I consider a tier 1 character to be at least playable. Of course, we don't have content that is hard enough, but yeah, I don't know. Tier 0 category, of course, this is something very positive. All the limited characters that you did pull recently, they are all very, very good. They're all top tier meta, but I don't know. In this patch, I think I can accept it, but definitely in the next patch, in my opinion, there should some movements happening here. I think some of these characters should move down, or to make the game a little bit healthy, more spicy. But I don't know if there is any content that is harder than the content right now that this can happen. As long as the content is as it is right now with Umbra Monument, I think they will stay here. There has to be some changes in the content, not like in the character designs itself, because I think the characters are totally fine though. All the characters, all the designs of these 4 characters are really amazing. They're all very, very good. And yeah, that is like the main reasoning, what you kind of have to think about. And yeah, there's also the only criticism that I have really about the tier list, because most of the other things, I think like they are very well decided here for the tier list. So let's go to the changelog and take a look at what ZHUANG FANGYI, what they thought about her when they placed her on the tier list. So ZHUANG FANGYI, damage tier 0, watch list up. Okay, so she's still at the watcher, so there could be that there are changes happening. So this most of the time means that they either confirm this or they put her down or up, and they move other characters or something like that. So Fengyi is an exorbitantly powerful unit who seems to cover all bases. She has very accessible teams, working just fine with full 4 to 5 star lineup. Has good range on her skills and manages consistent damage output without sacrificing on burst potential. On the aggregate, she pumps out top tier numbers in all forms of content with little difficulty, but this does comes with a caveat. Long ramp up periods for Umbral Monument. Zero ultimate energy starts demand rather lengthy rotations, and while she is able to set up quickly in modes like Recrisis, the need for Thunderblade stacking does hurt her speedrun prospects. We expect Fengyi to perform incredibly well generally, maybe even to the point where she sets a new bar for what a tier 0 unit really is, but it is still too early for us to make such a call. With time and full community testing being needed to determine whether or not she's worthy of such a placement, for the moment we're debuting her with tier 0 and a watchlist up tech to highlight how dominant she seems to be, but still keeping a close watch on her performance relative to the other tier 0 operators before making any commitments. Okay, so they already take that in consideration, that from the power level, she might be stronger than the other characters in the tier 0 category, which I personally, I do agree with. I think, like, I have, except for Rossi, I have all characters in this category. And for me, ZHUANG FANGYI feels like the strongest character, though. Even though I didn't use her that much, because I'm still waiting to get a weapon, though, to fully use her alongside with a team. And also, she only uses 5-star operators in a team. I mean, yeah, Levitain can also only use 5-star and 4-star operators in a team. But yeah, most of the time, like Yvonne, she kind of has to use premium operators. So you want to pair her with Tang Tang and Gilberta, for example, who are like the premium options here. So she's definitely the higher quality option. But I think it could happen that Last Ride moves to tier 0.5. Maybe. They could move to tier 1.5, or they will stay with the same tier as Last Ride. ZHUANG FANGYI will be in tier 0, and I think these three could move down to tier 0.5, because I think, like, what you have to understand is tier 0.5, yeah, is still really, really good. It is, in my, like, for my definition, tier 0.5 is close to tier 0, but it is not quite tier 0. And this is how I view this column here. I think, like, ZHUANG FANGYI should be tier 0, and all the other characters should be tier 0.5. They are close. They are very, very strong. You definitely can fully clear this easily, Umbral Monument, with these characters, but it is not as easy as using ZHUANG FANGYI. It is my opinion, though. I think that is what should happen for this tier list in the future, or maybe in the upcoming weeks. If this happens and there are changes, I will probably make an update on this. But yeah, this is probably what I think. So let's take a quick look at the other categories. So there are no changes, so I just will go quickly over them. We have Tang Tang tier 0 for the enabler category. Then we have Jen Kuan Yu, Li Feng, and Wolfgod for tier 0.5. We have Alash, Arklight, Amber, and Snowshine for tier 1. Then we have Estella, Fluorite for tier 1.5, and Catcher in tier 2. So seems like these are the characters that are used the least. But I never saw comps with Catcher, but I saw some comps that use Estella and Fluorite, though. Next, for the buffer category, Gilberta and Pock for the tier 0 category, which is very, very fair in my opinion. I think these are the best buffer category characters right now. And they are very, very close, but they are not quite on the same level as these. I could even see that Pock moves down, but I think Gilberta will stay here for a little bit longer, though. So we have Akakiri, tier 0.5, Ordelia, Perlica, and Jai. I think these are still staple units. There are a lot of teams that want to use at least one of these 4 characters, but that's why, yeah, they're not as strong as tier 0 characters, but there are definitely staple units that are used in a lot of different teams. Tier 1, we have Antel. I also do think he is really, really good, especially all characters in this buffer category are really, really good in my opinion. but you do not use them quite in all the teams, which why I think Antal is a little bit weaker than the other ones, because Antal seems to me like an option compared to the other buffer units. The other buffer units for me, they're all more like staple units. Okay, so because there are no changes, I think that's already it. We did go over the whole tier list. We did over the reasoning of Pridewind, why they did put ZHUANG FANGYI in the tier 0 category. She's still on the watch list, so if there are any changes happening, I will take a look at that on the future. And yeah, subscribe for the channel for more gacha gaming, for more Arknights Endfield content, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!